Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Lump Dog, your favorite fantasy football commissioner's favorite fantasy football commissioner, and this is the PPH Fantasy Football Video Commissioner Message week number 14, 13? What's the beginning of week 14, the end of the 13, but the playoffs are here. Anyway, I got a janky laptop. I've got my software loaded on there somewhat, so I'm able to do a semi decent commissioner message this week. Basement still out of commission, so I ain't got the green screen, but I did mess around and got this all up and running on this old school laptop that actually my mom ended up giving me because I was bitching about how my laptop gave out. I did order the fan for it, but it's going to be like 3 or 4 weeks because it's coming from China, China. And so anyway, this will probably be the last one of the season because I normally don't do these commissioner messages during the playoffs. But who knows? Maybe I will continue to do it. Maybe I won't. We'll see. Anyway, since I've been gone and having to do Lumpy Frank for a few weeks, man, the playoffs have started, and as you can see up here in the upper left here, we got the playoff matchups going in the PPH Fantasy Football League. To all my viral viewers out there, by the way, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you'll get notified when new videos are uploaded. But in PPH, we instituted a new rule this year, and that was to allow the number 1 and 2 seeds to pick their opponent. Previous years, we've always had the top 8 make the playoffs, and we always felt like, since the 1 and 2, at least I felt, since the 1 and 2 seeds didn't get any type of bye weeks, and they were just playing the 7th and 8th seeds, who are usually the hottest teams in the league, that we would allow the 1 and 2 seeds to pick their opponent. So that's what we got. So the rookie finished number 1. He's choosing out or calling out Tardo and the 289ers, the number 4 seed. He's going to take them on in the first round. The number 2 seed, Basket of Deplorables, is going to take on the number 7 seed, Just My Luck. So that there's no difference there. But because the rookie took number 4, that means the 8th seed now is left to me at the number 3 seed, Mr. Sweet Spot, and then the number 5 seed, Brew Dogs, is going to take on the number 6 seed in URSO. Just remember, we're going to reseed after every round, so highest seed remaining always plays the lowest seed remaining for the remainder of the playoffs, up to the championship game. So just keep that in mind. Your boy, man, I've been, struggling. Lost the last 3 out of 4 of my games. Did win one last weekly, so that was nice. But, man, last 3 out of 4 weeks, I put under 100 points. Lost to Tardo in the last week of the game. Kyle Rudolph went ahead and put an end to my Monday Night Magic. I had the lead by like 5 points and then 4 points, and then Rudolph scored that touchdown and put an end to my Monday Night Magic. So, man, it really does seem like everything's trending away from me. I do feel that my team is one and done, even if I am playing the Mollywops. And then you'll see here in our playoff preview here coming up that man, it's real bad to have all your players going in the morning, and all you got to do is watch your lead get chipped away and taken away. And Mollywops even has guys Monday night, so I feel like I'm one and done. I feel like Mollywoppers, you got me. Good game, you got me. That's pretty much how I'm feeling. But we're going to go ahead and get into most of these other these matchups. We'll just do a little preview here for this last week of the commissioner message. It's been a good year. Make sure that you go ahead. The 4 teams that are fishing right now: Jimmy, Patty, Britt, Cone, that Cone team, and Foster. Foster, you don't owe no money. You've won probably more money than the third place team is going to win for getting that last weekly. And but I know Britt and Cone owe money. I know Patty owes money. So let's try to get those league fees paid so we can pay out the winners. We hope that Tardo wins money because he's always the last to pay. I don't know why he likes to do that, but he does. So don't be a Tardo and get your league fees paid before Super Bowl. Don't wait till Super Bowl to have it done. I know that's the deadline to have it paid. It's just, but we'd like everyone to pay before. So there you go. There's really what the treasurer should be doing. Should be coming on here, making a treasurer end of the season message about what everyone owes and how to find them and how to get to them and how you pay. that's what really the treasurer should be doing. But you know what? I'm commissioner too, so to keep a league relevant for 19 years, it's always about the money, especially a paid league. So yeah, just get your league fees paid, y'all. So you know what I mean? Anyway, all right, so let's go ahead and let's go get into the playoff preview of what's going to go down here in Week 14 and on the road to the PPH championship and the belt. All right, well, here we go. Here's the playoff preview of the first game matchup here. As we see, we have the number 1 seed rookies calling out Tardo at the number 4 seed. Man, you can see the guru likes the rookies 122 to 100, and you can see that the rookies finished with a 10-3 record. Coach ranking is 3rd, and then all right, dogs were barking, so I had to go ahead and take care of that. But anyway, so let's go back to the preview here of the rookies versus the Tardos. You can see the record. Rookie finished at a 10-3. 289ers 8-5. Beat me that last game and swept me for the season. So good shit for that, Tardo. But I still own the battle and the war. You won the battle. I still own the war against you. Coach ranking here. Rookie had the 3rd best coach. 289ers with the 2nd. 289ers has really suffered a lot of injuries and adversity with Connor, Thielen, and Hilton all being injured. 289ers, they have a 4th rank in passing, 11th for the rookie. How does he finish with a 10-3 record and being 2nd to last in passing? It's ridiculous. Rushing and receiving, 289ers there, 11th, so, that's hurting him. Rookie with the 2nd and the 3rd, so that's really kept him winning the games. And then defense with 2nd with the 289ers and 7th with the rookie. I'm just going to go by what we have already, what you guys have in your matchups here. We got Jacoby Brissett against Patrick Mahomes. Man, in this one, I got to say, it's hard to go against Patrick Mahomes in this one. But, Brissett has a good matchup against Tampa Bay. Though Tampa Bay has been playing better of late, their defense. So that one is kind of a toss-up since Mahomes is playing at New England, which could have some bad weather. So that's going to be a good matchup to see what happens there. As far as the running backs are concerned, you can see that the rookie definitely has the edge on the running back situation. Let's see what Christian McCaffrey is going to do now that the Panthers have fired their coach. Is that going to fire up the team, or are they just going to mail it in? Who knows? We'll see how that plays out. It does have a good matchup against Atlanta, so at least you don't have to worry about any weather or anything. It's a dome game, so Christian McCaffrey should still do well. I mean, that's the centerpiece of their offense no matter who the coach is, right? So still should be good for them. David Montgomery going tonight, Thursday, against Dallas. I mean, that's a tough one to come out the gate right away. Going to go with Kenyon Drake against Pittsburgh. I guess he has no other choice unless Connor gets to play. And then you have Austin Eckler against Jacksonville. And I don't know. That's a hard one, too. I mean, he hasn't been getting a lot of carries and a lot of looks. It's been the Melvin Gordon show, so we'll see how that goes, but I definitely like the rookies running back matchups better than 289ers. Moving on to the wide receivers here, you can see that DJ Moore, Cortland Sutton, the top 2 receivers for the rookies, and then Robert Woods and A.J. Brown going there for the 289ers, and then in the 3rd receiver spot, Keenan Allen and Philip Dorsett. Man, I know Robert Woods had a good game last week against who were they playing? They were playing Arizona. And A.J. Brown against Oakland, that's a good matchup, but is he going to be able to outscore Sutton and DJ Moore? Not sure about that. So I kind of am liking the rookies receiving core. Philip Dorsett, I mean, Jesus Christ, how do you just keep running with that guy like week after week and you're just not doing anything? That's tough there, Tardo, for you just to keep running with him. This shows a little rookiness in your ability. You don't have any balls to go out there and James Washington was out there and I got him last week when Julio was ruled out. So there's guys out there. I don't know why you want to keep running with Philip Dorsett, but hey, it's your team. You can run it the way you want to. Pretty much even in the Tight end position, though I do like Jared Cook a little bit more, though he's been dropping a lot of passes. Kyle Rudolph, man, really screwed me up and took away that Monday Night Magic for me last week, so got a hatred for him. So let's just but he's been playing well. I mean, he's the last few weeks put up 11 points last week, got Tardo the win. So kind of like Kyle Rudolph against Detroit a little bit more than Jared Cook against my Niners. Young Ho Koo against Greg Zerline. I mean, that's a toss-up. It's a kicker. You could get 2 or you can get 20. Who knows? And then you got the Eagles defense against the Giants, and then the Niners defense against the Saints. Saints aren't a turnover-prone team. You're going to get maybe a few sacks out of the Niners, but I don't see many, fumbles or interceptions or, taken to the house. Eagles, I do like that defense a lot more going against the Giants on Monday night, so I give it to the rookie on this one. I think the rookie's going to go ahead and get into that second round and take out the 289ers. I know I'm not going out on a limb here. That's what the guru says. So we'll see, man. We'll see what goes down. But, rookie did make the mistake of calling out the 289ers, so he might get face pumped. Did a little self-face pumping for that. All right, let's go into the next matchup here with the number 2 seed, the Basket of Deplorables, just taking out or calling out the number 7 seed, who he would have played anyway. So he's not trying to anger the fantasy gods. But look, as you can see, the guru likes them as a tie, 111 to 111. If it does end in a tie, remember the higher seed does move on. So we do have a rule for that now. No more coin flips or any bullshit like that. Let's take a look at the records. You see Basket of Deplorables won their last 2 in a row on a finished to 9-4. Just My Luck again squeaks in with a 6-7 record, even loses his last one, still makes the playoffs. Coaching ranking with Basket of Deplorables a 10th, 6th for the Just My Luck, but I think that has more to do with he just has no one on his bench really to put in that's better. Passing rankings just about even 5-7. Rushing ranking, I'm pretty surprised even after dealing Nick Chubb in the season that good old Just My Luck Brent finishes with the 3rd rushing ranking. 9th for Basket of Deplorables, 6th and 7th in receiving, pretty there, and then the defense 1st to 9th. So here we go. Here are the matchups. We got the Lamar Vick going against Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's at home against Carolina, and Lamar Vick is on the road against Buffalo. I mean, I can't go against Lamar Vick the way he's playing right now, even at Buffalo. I just don't like the way the Atlanta's been playing lately. Look what they did against Tampa Bay last week, or Tampa Bay, or 2 weeks ago. And then last week against New Orleans, they just looked awful. So again on Thanksgiving, so got to give the nod there to Lamar Vick. Running back situation, I just saw today that Josh Jacobs is playing with a fractured shoulder. So that's and then he has James White against Kansas City. James White has been getting is really good in PPR leagues, just not really a kind of guy you want to start in PPH, but Basket of Deplorables is rolling with it. Melvin Gordon, Philip Lindsay, I like those matchups a lot better than what the 289 or the Basket of Deplorables has. So I'm gonna give Brent Just My Luck the matchup nod with the running back situation. Moving on to receivers, we got Calvin Ridley, Devontae Adams, Jamison Crowder, Devontae Parker. All of a sudden now he's viable, looking like a number 1 wide receiver, and then Marquise Brown and Zach Pascal. You know what? I mean, obviously we got the combo there. We got 2 combos with Ridley and Matt Ryan, and then Marquise Brown and Lamar. I just don't know if that Marquise Brown is going to come up. He hasn't really done anything since week 1 or had any big games with Lamar. It's more of a tight end kind of passing game there in short dump off passes, nothing really down the field with Lamar Vick. So but I do like Devontae Adams against Washington and Devontae Parker against New Jersey. It's just at New Jersey, and those games are always crazy. Dolphin Jet games, for whatever reason, those in division games just are crazy. Crowder, God, I drafted the guy, I dropped the guy, I traded for the guy, I dropped the guy, and he ends up again with good old Brent. So You know what? I got to give it the edge just slightly, though, to Basket Deplorables and their receiving core. Though, you know what? That Zach Pascal against the Indianapolis could be pretty big. So it could go Brent's way, but I mean, on paper and right now, if I was to take one of these receiving cores, it would definitely be Basket of Deplorables. Moving on to the tight end, I mean, really not that much here. We're going with Mike Gesicki and Darren Fells. I guess good old Tommy is a big AFC East fan, and Patriots and Miami Dolphins is who he likes. So anyway, yeah, I mean, really not much to talk there. I mean, Gesicki's been playing well of late. Darren Fells not really been doing much, but still could be decent. Kickers pretty even, Gold against Zane Gonzalez, and then the defense is Vikings against the Jets, and then it looks like Vikings are going to have to play against Blau. So I do like probably the Vikings, even though the Jets probably have a bigger guru score because it is Miami. But Miami's been playing better lately. Fitzmagic, been passing the ball, just pass, can't run the ball. So that might, and looks like Adams, the safety for the Jets, could be out too. So you give it to the Vikings. Even though Guru likes the Jets, I like the Vikings. I think this game, again, I mean, we see that the Guru has it tied 111 to 111. So, I mean, this is a hard one. This is a coin flip, but I do like the Basket Deplorables just because of the quarterback scoring. Even though they have Matt Ryan going off, I just don't see that happening. I have Julio Jones. I hope it works. I hope it happens, but I just don't see it happen. I see Lamar Vick going to go ahead and pull that one out for Basket of Deplorables, and I see him moving on. All right, and then next matchup here, we got the number 5 and number 6 seeds playing each other. Remember, we did have the number 1 and 2 seeds pick their opponent, so the number 1 seed picked the number 4, so it threw off the seeding a little bit for all my viral viewers out there. We got URSO getting a 120 to 112 win, according to the Guru here, and the projections. URSO finishes at 7-6 record, and a similar record with Brewdogs. Both teams coming into the playoffs losing their last games. Brewdogs on a losing streak, losing their last 2 games. Coaching ranking here, as you can see, both have a crappy coaching ranking, 11th and 12th at the bottom of the league. They can't make the right calls, or they just don't have people on their bench to moving in. Brewdogs with the easiest schedule difficulty, and then URSO tied for 8th. Passing ranking looks like Brewdogs got them 2nd to 10th. Rushing ranking 8th to 10th, somewhat closer there. Receiving record 2nd to 8th, and then defensive 4th to 8th. And we look at the quarterback matchups. You got Russell Wilson against Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz has got his weapons back now. Not Deshaun Jackson. We got Alshon Jeffrey back, and it just seems like he's playing better of late. He's at home on Monday night. I know Russell Wilson could throw up 35 or 70 points at any given time, especially at the Rams, though, on Sunday night. That's a big game. I'm going to give the nod a little bit here. I guess I'm going to say Russell Wilson, just because it's hard to go against him, especially in a divisional game. Giants, though, pass defense is horrible, so I could definitely see Carson Wentz outscoring him, but I'm going to give the slight nod, very slight nod to Russell Wilson. Moving on to the running back, they got Sony Michel and Joe Mixon, Bagak against Alvin Kamara and Aaron Jones. Going to go ahead and give that one to Dookie. I mean, just you can see Sony Michel is I just don't see how you can go roll with him. I mean, I know you don't have anything else, but should have been thinking about that about 2 weeks ago, Dare ways to get a better running back. Joe Mixon at Cleveland, I guess he could get 10 or 12 points, but he's not any 20-point guy. And both Alvin Kamara and Aaron Jones are the kind of guys that could put up 25, 30. So going to give it that to URSO. Going into the receiving core, we got DJ Baby Shark versus DeAndre Hopkins, Michael Gallup, Kenny Galladay, Will Fuller, and Amari Cooper. I mean, just on paper, you got to give it to the Dare pair, right? He has just better receivers, but DJ Chark has got Gardner Minshew back, so that could definitely help him out. But I think the Chargers pass defense, they got Darwin James back in safety. I think that's going to shore up their back end, and I don't see DJ Chark doing much. DeAndre Hopkins, definitely top flight receiver for sure, can go off. Gallup again going against Chicago tonight on Thursday night, coming out the gate. So, but you know what? He's got Amari Cooper too on the other side. So will be good to see who comes out on top after tonight. Which receiver has more points? And then Kenny Galladay and Will Fuller. I mean, Will Fuller needs that one big play. All he needs is one, right? That's the kind of player he is. All he needs is one, and he can make your day. So, going to give the slight nod again to Dare Pair. I mean, just top to bottom, 1 through 3 is just much stronger than URSO. Moving on to tight ends, Hunter Henry, Zach Ertz, pretty much a wash as in talent. Zach Ertz just has not been the same player this year. So I will give it up to Hunter Henry, but it's hard to give it to Henry, especially when Phillip Rivers is playing so shitty lately. So, but you know what? I will give it to Hunter Henry, just a slight nod. Tucker, definitely over Bailey, but it could be snowing, so I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. If it's with weather comes into play while Bailey's playing indoors, Tucker's outdoors at Buffalo. We'll see what the weather does, but if the weather's okay, I still give it to Tucker. And then Steelers defense against Arizona against the Jaguars defense, URSO. So yeah, this is definitely a good matchup here between the 5 and 6 seed, and you know what? With Russell Wilson and URSO just not being a big point scorer, I'm going to give it to the Brewdogs. I think he's going to win this one also slightly. I see like a 107 to 96 game or something like that. It'll be close, somewhat close. Not a huge high-scoring game, but definitely I could see Brewdogs pulling this one out and URSO taking that hard loss in the playoffs. I know he's not going to like it, but you know what? That's what I see from the matchups. So we'll see how it goes. And, I'm just not going with the guru. I'm just not a guru guy. Always going with whatever the guru says. All right, in our last matchup, just because, I don't always want to just talk about my team. I save it to last. But I will go ahead and say that I am playing the number 8 seed. I should win, but I just do not like my matchups that much, even though I've had a lot of time to think about them. I've lost my last 3 out of 4. My receivers have just not been performing. I mean, I don't know what it is. I have, 3 top 10 receivers, and they're not getting it done. I can get a big game, but that's what it's going to take for me to get the win. Going into the records, I finished 8-5, lost my last one. Mollywops wins their last one, gets into the playoffs. Coaching ranking 4th and 5th. Pretty even there. Schedule difficulty, I have the 10th. Mollywops has got the 6th toughest schedule. Passing ranking 6th to 12th. I can't believe with Tom Brady and you're the last in passing, but you know what? Tom Brady put up 48 points last week, so that's perfectly fine. Those rankings really don't mean much. 6th and 5th in rushing, so that's pretty even. 1st and 4th in receiving. I can't believe Mywops is 4th in receiving with his receiving core, but you know what? They've been putting it up. And then 3rd and 6th with the defensive. Again, we'll see how that goes. So let's see here. We got into quarterback Brady versus Winston. God, Winston, you. If any time to have a big game, it's this week. You've been held in check the last few weeks. This is the week to have it. Brady, though, playing Kansas City at home. Even though he finished with 48 points last week, it wasn't a very good game. I'm going to give the nod to Brady just because he'll probably not have as many turnovers. Winston is definitely good with at least a few turnovers, few picks, at least a fumble or two. So we'll see how that turns out. He is at home, played a little bit better. Got held without a touchdown last week, so I don't know. Hope that's not a trend, and hopefully he can break out this week with a couple touchdowns. Going into the running back core, you got Sasquon Barkley and Le'Veon Bell versus Singletary and Carson. Got to give it to the Mollywops in the running back department. I mean, it's just a better running back core. Carson is now splitting with a lot of his work with Penny, and then Singletary. I know he's at home, but he plays Baltimore. Maybe, hopefully, the Niners showed them Buffalo how to run. If Raheem Mostert can run against I'm hoping Devin Singletary can run against the Ravens defense. So we'll see how that goes. But definitely the Mollywops have a better running back core. Going back into our receivers here, you got Edelman and there's Julio, Lockett versus Godwin, and then Darius Slayton versus Mike Evans. Again, my receivers have been killing me the last 3 out of 4 weeks. The 1 week I won is when Chris Godwin had that 34-point game against New Orleans. So it's like I need to have a big game from one of my receivers. I've yet to have all 3 of my receivers have good games on the same week. I think part of that is due to the fact that 2 of them are from the same team, so it's hard, Godwin and Evans to have good games. It's happened once, I think, where Godwin scored like 25 and then Evans scored 15, and that was that Rams game early in the season. But yeah, Julio's due, so I'm hoping this is weak, but so is Tyler Lockett, so that scares me. I mean, on paper, I would take my receiving core, but in real world, performance, it kind of scares me for the receivers there for Mollywop, especially you guys, Darius Slayton going on Monday night, so we'll see how it turns out. I mean, I'll give myself the nod in receiving, but you know what? It's just a paper tiger again. Julio, Godwin, and Evans. I think Evans and Godwin are like 1 and 2 or 1 and 3 receivers right now in the league. But you know what? Last week that didn't help me at all. But hopefully this week against the Colts, at least one of them go off. Here we go. Big matchup with the tight ends, Kelsey against Kittle. Kittle's playing with that broken ankle, but you know what? And Bill Belichick is going to definitely scheme to try to take away Kelsey. So I kind of like Kittle a little bit better than Kelsey this week. Got outdoor play and indoor play, even with a broken ankle. I think Kittle comes back, and because he didn't really do much last week against the Ravens. Kickers, it's a wash. I don't even know if I'm sticking with Joey Slye. The only reason I like him right now is because it's indoor. I don't have to worry about any weather. And then I have a choice here at the Colts. I got the Colts defense in right now because I figured, man, I could, at least protect myself, right? So Winston is known to have turnovers. So I know that it isn't a gain in points, if any pick, but it's a wash, right? So if he throws a 3-pick game, those 9 points I keep. I don't lose them. So I'm hoping this strategy works out, but I'm not 100% sold on it yet. Right now, the Mollywops has got the Ravens in going against his Buffalo Bills. I'm hoping the Bills don't turn it over and allow a lot of sacks. So, but the Colts going, I do have some other options on defense down here with the Bucks and the Titans. I kind of want to move to the Titans a little bit just because so it gives me something in the afternoon. But I kind of like the Bucks too. The last 2 weeks they put up over 20 points. It looks like their defense and at least their defensive line have been really putting pressure on quarterbacks, getting sacks and forcing turnovers. So this is a tough one. Do I go with the Colts that protect me and give me some points? So I'd get points off any sacks, any returns, but any picks or fumbles from Winston or any of the receivers would be a wash in points, but it protects me, so I'd keep those points. So it's hard. It's a hard decision to make when it's a win or go home, but right now I like the Colts, so I'm sticking with them right now. We'll see how I feel about it on Sunday morning. I feel like I'm going to lose, though. I got to put it out there. Not that I don't like my team. I like them, but I just feel just everybody going on the morning game is just really killing me. Like, everybody's going in the morning. I have, except for Chris Carson, who goes on Sunday night. Other than that, I mean, that's all I have. He has guys going on Monday. Got Brady and Edelman in the afternoon. To win this game, I'm gonna have to put up a 115 spot or higher. Period. That's the way for me to win the game. Just because the last 3 out of 4 weeks I've been under 100 points. So it is what it is. I put up a 149 spot in between that, so my team can put up a big point, but they just have not been averaging very well the last 3 out of 4 weeks. So we'll see how it goes, man. It is what it is. The fantasy gods are going to make it happen or not make it happen. I'm either going to continue holding the belt or I'm going to have to give it up. And that's the other thing, when you own the belt, you only have one chance to go back to back. Because if I lose now, it's going to take another championship and a whole nother year. So it's going to take a lot of work to win it back. And we haven't had a back-to-back champion since like 2001, 2002 with Foster. And that was those 2 crazy years, man. He didn't make any trades, any pickups, rolled with both his lineups both years, and won it both years. So we'll see, man. We'll see how it goes. So it is scary. It is scary. It's the way how everything's going. So those are the matchups, and that has been PPH for the year. So, man, I hope everyone's had a good time. I hope that that everyone is going to pay up and hopefully don't wait till the Super Bowl to do it. Jimmy the Cuck has been really hurt by missing the playoffs. He looked like Dalvin Cook was going to score the points he needed to get the W against Foster and get the weekly, but he got injured and got taken out, and we haven't seen Jimmy the Cuck since. So maybe he can get on video and give us a super nice fishing report. That'd be really good. Come over, Jimmy the Cuck. I'll let you get on the Commish message, and we'll do a fishing report for you. Give us the water temp. Let us know which fishing holes you're at, and don't be so shy and so scared. All right, y'all. Well, there you go. There's been the year for PPH. It's been crazy. It's been fun. It's been a really weird year more than anything else. I think. People have just been up and down. Other than like McCaffrey, Lamar Vick, and Dalvin Cook, I think those are the 3 most consistent players that are the most dangerous. And what's really funny too is that there's a lot of good players out of the playoffs, so like Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Deshaun Watson, Leonard Fournette, Dalvin Cook, Mark Ingram, Derrick Henry, Tyreek Hill, Kirk Cousins, Ezekiel Elliott, Todd Gurley. All those guys are really first-round kind of picks, second-round picks, and none of them are in the playoffs. It's crazy. People like DJ Chark are in the playoffs, while people like Tyreek Hill are not. So, people like Le'Veon Bell are in the playoffs, while Leonard Fournette or Ezekiel Elliott are not. So, crazy, crazy, crazy year. So, I hope everyone, again, had fun. Again, get your league fees paid up. And if I don't get a fishing report in or something like that, then this has been Lump Dog and your favorite fantasy football commissioner's favorite fantasy football commissioner, and I'll see you all in 2020. All right, peace.